Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Megan. I'm with Inkredible Techniques. Thanks so much for spending a few moments with me today. Today I've got a quick and easy Christmas card for you. I don't know if you can tell in my voice, but I have been fighting with a virus for like a solid week now. I'm just now getting my voice back. So I needed a quick card to do because if I'm on video very long, I'm going to be coughing and not able to talk, and that won't be fun for you or me. So today's card is a quick and easy one. I did go ahead and cut out the supplies ahead of time, but all of the sizes and dimensions will be in the description below, and you'll see how quick and easy this is. I also want to remind you before we get started, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. That's just simple as hitting that red button below. I typically post once a week, and I don't want you missing out. So click that bell, and without further ado, let's get started on today's project. So again, the project that we're making today comes from the holiday catalog, and I'm using a couple of different products from this. And if you don't already have this catalog and you need a copy, feel free to message me, email me, give me your mailing address if you're here in the United States, and I will be sure to get a copy of this catalog mailed to you right away. This card comes together very quickly. I've got my card base in Very Vanilla, and again, all the dimensions will be listed in the description below. I have a layer of Very Vanilla cardstock here. I have a small layer of soft suede and a small piece of the Designer Series paper that has this copper accents in it, and then our detailed copper deer. Now I'm going to do some embossing for my greeting first, so I'm going to go ahead and pull, this is the Very Vanilla layer, I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. I've got my embossing buddy here. You always want to use your embossing buddy when you are embossing, because the oils in your hands, if you don't use this, the powder will stick to places that you don't want it to. So I'm just rubbing this embossing buddy over the bottom portion of my card layer here. And then I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper, because the embossing powder is like a fine powder and it can easily spread everywhere. So then I'm going to grab my Versamark ink. I'm going to ink this in the Versamark ink, and I really want my card going this way, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp this in the bottom left hand corner is where I want this. And I forgot to grab the mat to place under me. Since this is a photopolymer, sometimes it's best to have a little mat underneath the layer. This is the copper embossing powder, and I'm just going to pour it over the stamped image. Now you can't see the stamped image on camera because it's a clear ink, but in person you can see it. And of course, when I tap this off, you can see it as well. So there's a few spots where I want it to be a little more prominent. So I'm going to pour some more out and tap it off, and I think that looks pretty good. So when you're done, this is why we do this on scrap piece of paper, but you can kind of put all this in the middle, take your jar, and carefully slide it all back in. I did get a few little speckles of embossing powder where I don't want them. I don't know if the camera is really picking that up, but I'm just going to take a little paintbrush that I have. It's a dry brush. I'm just going to brush those away. Okay, so I've got my heat tool here. So as soon as you see it starting to turn from kind of a matte to a glossy, then it's done. So now we can just go ahead and start layering the pieces of our card. I've got my snail adhesive here, and I'm going to grab my silicone mat, which is close nearby. This is the tool I use all the time. Your adhesive might go onto your silicone mat, but it doesn't stick. It just rolls right off. So it's really great. And for protecting your work surface, you don't want that adhesive getting onto other papers and projects. So then I can put some snail on the back of this layer. And I'm going to place this kind of up more towards the top because I wanted to leave plenty of room for my sentiment. And then I am going to go ahead and layer. I'm going to put a snail on the back of this layer and adhere this to my card base. Then for the deer, I am going to put some dimensionals on the back, and I have both some large size and the mini ones, and I'm probably going to be using some of both. And now we're ready to take this. And the one thing about this glitter paper that's really nice is it's got that whole look of glitter, but it doesn't rub off. Or if it does, it's just a fleck or two. But you know, I'm running my hand across this pretty hard and there's no glitter on my finger at all. So that's one really nice thing about this paper. Then I'm just going to position him right there. And there you have your Christmas card. And how quick this card is. So you really could crank out a bunch of these all at once. This is the perfect card making design idea for the men in your life. It's masculine. Even with the glitter, it's still masculine looking. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this project. Again, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please hit that red button before you go. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I will answer them. I'd love to know what you think of this card. I love hearing from you. Until next time, have an incredible day.